Nursing home abuse and neglect is one of the hidden dangers in America, I think. And one of the reasons is that although many of the homes are doing their best to treat the residents and treat people's loved ones, there are a few that don't. They just don't have the manpower, they don't pay their employees enough or their staff enough, and some of them just don't have the ability to care for loved ones the way they should. Could be anywhere from actual abuse of a person that lives in a nursing home, either by another resident of the home or by a person that works there. Maybe it's because the family doesn't come visit very often, or because it's hidden by the staff members when the family's there. But when it is seen, what we see is bed sores on people because they haven't been turned at appropriate intervals. We see bruising, we see worse injuries like broken bones. Maybe the resident has been transferred and they've been dropped by the staff. We see what's called elopement, which is when they let the resident get away, get out of the home and then they just get lost, they disappear essentially. We see people that have failed to thrive. They haven't been given their medication or food regularly like they should be. It's really all types of injuries. Anything you can imagine that can happen in a nursing home sometimes, unfortunately, does happen. Well, in Washington, we have a great set of laws that cover nursing home abuse and neglect. There's something in the RCWs, which stands for Revised Code of Washington, which is just a set of statutes that you can find online. And in the RCWs is what they call the Vulnerable Adult Statute, which is something that was passed about 20 years ago. And what it does is it allows someone who can prove that there was neglect or abuse in a nursing home, that person or the estate of that person can recover attorney's fees and attorney's costs. So actual attorney's fees, so their attorney is paid for by the home, and the actual costs, so the money that's spent by the attorney in prosecuting this case is actually paid for by the home or their insurance company. So that's a great thing in Washington, which they don't have in very many states. And what it does is it allows us to fight back against the defense we used to always hear before the Vulnerable Adult Statute, which was, oh, so somebody passed away, they were 95 anyway, and they were about to go. You know, that defense carries some weight with jurors sometimes, but when you have the additional hammer of attorney's fees and costs, insurance companies are more likely to say, let's take this seriously right off the bat. If for some reason we are not able to prove that there was abuse or neglect, the attorney's fees would be zero, and the clients do not have to pay us back for the money that we spent in prosecuting the case. If a family member suspects nursing home abuse or neglect, they should do two things. They should call the DSHS hotline and report it, because DSHS will look into it and find out what happened. And two, they should contact an attorney right away. A family member should never really try to negotiate or resolve an instance of abuse or neglect with the home themselves, because the people that work in the home at the top levels and the insurance companies that insure them know what they're doing. They do this day in and day out, and they're going to take advantage of an unrepresented person. It's therefore always better to have an attorney right from day one. In Washington State, there's something called the Statute of Limitations, which is a law that says that for a personal injury case, including nursing homes, you have 3 years to either resolve your case or start a lawsuit. So from the time the first neglect or abuse happens, you have 3 years, and if you haven't done one of those things by then, you're just out of luck. It's a good idea to start early and not wait to contact an attorney, because sometimes you don't know necessarily when the first instance of neglect happened, and we find out later that it happened years in the past, and that's therefore not compensable at that point. If you find yourself in the unfortunate circumstance where a loved one has been abused or neglected in a nursing home, you should look for an attorney who has, first of all, decades of experience handling nursing home cases, and also someone who has experience trying cases in front of a jury. There are a lot of attorneys out there that do not have that experience because it's hard to come by, and if an attorney doesn't have that experience, the insurance company just won't offer full compensation because they know that the lawyer can't take it any further than that anyway. GLP Attorneys has decades of experience representing people in nursing homes and the families of people in nursing homes, and a very strong track record in getting them full compensation. If you suspect that somebody you love has been injured in a nursing home, please call GLP attorneys immediately.